Hello everyone, it's Carl Malone, and as a lot of you know, I'm a board certified doctor of natural medicine and doctor of bioenergetic medicine, and I've been teaching low-level laser therapy since 2002, and over this time I've developed laser neuromuscular therapy, and I teach laser techniques to therapists and people that want to incorporate laser into their work, and you can visit my page lasernmt.com for the videos, and the training videos that are all there. But I'm going to allude to some of that right now as I talk about laser and our programmability of our scalar wave laser. The scalar wave is a really nice laser in that it has 16 laser diodes and 20 violet LEDs. And I want to explain a little bit about that. I love these lasers because they're so programmable. And the way that lasers became programmable is scientists, when they were looking at cells, if you've ever seen cells under a microscope, you often see that they're kind of squished and stuck together and deformed. And they found when the laser contacts the cell, the photon that comes from a laser is they're coherent photons, meaning they're all exactly alike. And they're very refined light. And when that photon contacts the cell, there's a photochemical exchange of energy into the cell. And that photochemical exchange causes the cell to open up an ion channel or a pore and basically erp out its contents. Now the cell can receive fresh nutrients and oxygen. And within the cell is an organ called the mitochondria. The mitochondria produces ATP, which is energy. So the photons resuscitate the mitochondria to produce up to 150% more energy, or ATP. When cells have enough energy, they split and multiply and grow into new healthy cells. So when scientists were measuring the vibration or the frequency of cells, they measure the distance between the peaks of those vibrations. And in people and animals, that's about 635 nanometers. A nanometer is a billionth of a meter. And when they recreate that 635 nanometer wavelength, it appears red to the human eye. And that's the wavelength that tends to resuscitate the cell. They found when they were doing this work that cells will actually send out a photon to other cells in the area, telling them to do this same function, resuscitate, dump your toxins. And they found also that at conception, when an egg is fertilized, at the moment of conception, there's a flash of light at 635 nanometers. So when we're using that wavelength, it's actually speaking the language of the cell. We're communicating to the cell in its own language. So scientists took that a step further and took cells or tissue up in space in petri dishes from every part of the body. So they tested and came back with frequencies for virtually every tissue in the body. So my first laser, the first laser I ever got, was a 4-diode laser, and I kept all the frequencies, the main frequencies, on the back of my laser, so I could program the 4 diodes with different settings depending on what I was working on. And I love this laser. It's the first one I ever got with 4 coherent laser diodes. And I used this extensively for a long, long time and really enjoyed it. But when these came out, I realized, wow, these are 5 times the laser, but they're 1/5 the price. And so instead of 4 red lights, now I've got 16, which 8 are red. I'm sorry, I've got 8 red and 8 infrared. So I've got 16 diodes. And 20 violet LEDs, which LED is a little more dispersed light. It works really well for the violet LEDs, work really well for lymphatics and skin and tissue. And then these lasers came already programmed, so it already had frequencies for glands and for all of the muscle and nerve and ligament, and virtually everything I ever needed was already in here, so I never really had to program. However, if I wanted to program, and I have done that a bit, for people that say have bone issues, or maybe they've got dental issues, there's books and books of frequencies, so I can grab one of my frequency books, and if I've got it tabbed for dental. So I can go through the frequencies for dental and muscle test. Which frequencies do I need to input into this laser for this person's dental or their bone regeneration, or maybe a specific parasite that I'm working with? So these lasers are incredible for programming specific wavelengths, specific frequencies, or if you wanted to use the frequency for glands, you're also getting all the glands at the same time, which is great because they need to be communicating together. Or all the organs, if you were working with specific organs, you've got all those frequencies playing at the same time. But if you wanted to isolate, you could program just the frequencies for that gland or organ or specific tissue that you're working with. Anyway, I wanted to give a little more clarification on lasers and programmability and how that kind of came about. And a lot more detail is in my videos and my training at LNMT.com, or you can drop me an email if you have a question, ask@docmalone.com, or you can give us a ring here at my office, The Natural Path in Fort Collins, Colorado, and that number is 970-829-1110. Thank you, and have a very blessed day.